Before anyone says, "I know we're late," I know. Don't worry, we apologize, but welcome back to the Beer Battered Sports Podcast, the podcast created by sports fans for sports fans, because we believe we are the most qualified people to talk about our favorite teams. I'm your co-host Isaac,
And I'm 40.
and Noam is I don't know, where is Noam?
Noam's always late, man.
He's gonna be here. Don't worry. He is here tonight. Don't worry. And already the roasting has begun. Apparently, Kylie down there in the comments. How you doing, Kylie? By the way, Kylie, I don't like your team, and I don't want anyone to talk about the Phillies. I know it's only spring training, but I'm already being hurt by them. So, wow, already massive amount of viewers already. Love that. Again, apologies for being late, guys. Hopefully that won't happen again. I believe we got all our technical difficulties out of the way before the show, so we should be good. Right, Calvin?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I was curious why we're late. That's why. But we're back today. We got an exciting episode for you guys today. We're going to be talking about spring training games getting started, talking about the NFL Combine and which young players we're excited to see. If you saw the title, we're also going to be talking a bit about the biggest controversy in sports going on right now, which is the case of court storming and how college basketball is taking a good look at this time-honored tradition now that two star athletes have well, I'm not going to say they suffered injuries because they didn't, but they got hurt. They got hurt during court storms.
Duke, I'll be honest. That dude, he brought that upon himself. He initiated that contact. And I'm gonna be honest too. I think Caitlin Clark initiated her contact when the thing happened to her as well.
I hate to be that guy, but like I've seen that clip 100 times and she clearly flopped. So,
Yeah.
But it doesn't take away from the danger because there is some inherent danger. But we'll get up to all of that, obviously. Don't worry, we will.
1,000%. And I
We
think
will.
I think those last two players did that because they want court storming to stop. So they initiated that contact for a reason.
We're going to get into that all in today's episode. It's going to be an exciting one. If you guys are enjoying today's episode, go ahead and hit that like button. We appreciate all the support. As always, big shout out to Fired Up Sports Network. Without them, we wouldn't be here. And with that being said, let's jump into our opening segment. As always, how we start every single episode since episode 101, because this is fairly new. What's on your mind? Where we ask every co-host of the show what's been on their mind in the sports world. It don't even have to be sports related, honestly. It could be anything. So I'll start with you, Calvin, while we wait for no. You're on this side of me, Calvin. What's on your mind?
Today I'm gonna go with the controversial refs in today's sports games. I don't know if you were able to catch that Pistons Knicks game last night.
I think I saw a little bit of it on TikTok. Was that the one where somebody got like knocked to the ground and there was no
Okay,
call?
yes. So
Okay,
yeah,
break it down for me. Break it down.
Pistons Knicks last night. It's 111-110. Pistons are up. And the thing is, the Pistons, them being such a terrible team this year. Yeah, absolute bullshit, Kylie. Them being such a terrible team this year, they were high underdogs. I think the spread was like 17.5 or something like that.
Right.
Pistons are actually winning this game. 111-110. Knicks have possession. They miss like 3 shots. Pistons get the rebound. The guy who secures the rebound, he ends up passing it out to another guy. But as he's passing it out to the other guy to start the break, he gets fouled. And it's not called. Whistle's not blown, anything. Refs let it play on. Ball's dangling around on the court at that point because the guy got fouled as he's passing it. One of the Knicks players ends up grabbing it. Pistons player steals it back. Pistons player is running up court, and he absolutely just gets pummeled. And, literally they just collided into him. No call is called at all. New York gets possession back, and all this is happening with no whistle at all. New York gets possession back. Jalen Brunson passes it down low to Josh Hart. Josh Hart goes up. He hits the bucket and one, and the refs blow the whistle. And Knicks get a bullshit foul call with an and one bucket. So now they go up by 2, and they end up winning that game by 3 points, actually. And the referees definitely cheated the Detroit Pistons out of a win last night on that basketball court.
I'm trying to find it right now.
But it goes back to what's on my mind, and it brings me to the point of that I was trying to get to of the refs nowadays in this in the sports world are absolute bullshit. Um, Ever since the NFL, NBA, and every other sports league signed those contracts with DraftKings, FanDuel, and all that shit 3-4 years ago, it's just been absolutely terrible calls from refs. Um, we see it in the NFL every week. We see it in the NBA every night. I mean, we've even seen it in baseball with the umpires and strikes and balls that are called and stuff like that. So the refs nowadays are just absolutely bullshit. That's what's on
That
my.
wasn't a foul. That wasn't a foul. What?
That's what I'm saying. I guess you're watching the clip right now. There's like 3 fouls there that they did not call on the New York Knicks. It was absolutely crazy. And there was a guy. So there's this guy. Sorry, there's this guy, $1 Million Marco, and he's this big time sports bettor.
Gotcha.
Basically, he had put $100,000 on the Detroit Pistons to win last night, and he got cheated out of $1 million because of those 3 foul calls that weren't called last night. But he ended up making his money back because he put $100,000 on the Pistons to cover the spread as well, which they did. But he should have won $1 million because the Pistons should have won that basketball game last night.
I just saw the clip now. If you didn't, I just knocked a lamp over. Oh boy. Okay. Well, that's the thing. Having just seen the clip, yeah, that's bullshit. How's that not a? How is that not a? How are you not calling that?
And then
Like,
you call the foul on the Pistons while Josh Hart's scoring the bucket.
I've tried to ignore the narrative of sports of refs trying to rig game. Well, not. Yeah, that's the best way to say it. I've tried to ignore that narrative for years, just because I don't know. It seems so stupid. You'd think, but the more it's cases like that that make you really think and wonder, huh? Because I saw ESPN ran this segment on they ran the segment on Sports Center on Monday. By the way, I have a gripe about Sports Center we'll get to. But so they ran this whole thing about sports betting, and you don't realize just how prevalent it is and how much impact it has on the game. I mean, we've seen like Las Vegas explode with everybody trying to put teams in Vegas now, and it makes one wonder. It really makes one start to wonder. When you see games like that, you start to wonder, like, are we gonna have another situation like we did a couple years ago when there's a Milani sighting. Hello.
Say hello.
Oh, I don't know. I'm going on a tangent here, but it just makes it's cases like that. It's situations like that where there's no calls that just make you wonder. Uh, I've lost my train of thought. I don't know what I was trying to. I guess what I'm trying to say is like it's things like that that make you really wonder. Like, are these who's paying these refs off? Are these refs being paid off? I think is the best way to say it.
So
It's kind of that's the way I say it. So you remember who was it? It was that one ref in the NBA who what was he? The guy who was caught calling games. I forgot his name.
yeah, I know what you're talking about, though. I
Yeah,
know exactly
yeah,
what you're talking about.
yeah,
I forgot his name too. But
yeah.
honestly, it's not even just the refs because I actually saw something on Twitter today, and it was saying the former Grizzlies scorekeeper Alex Rucker admits to boosting NBA stats in the '90s. Basically, he was saying that there's a discussion that was an assist, that was a pass, and the majority opinion by a mile was, oh no, that's definitely an assist. It's John Stockton.
Right. That wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, I work in college athletics, and we consistently have to tell guys who do scoring for the team that you can't you can't give them an extra assist or an extra rebound when there clearly wasn't one. Um, that's more something along the lines of, I guess, team loyalty. So I'm not surprised something like that would happen. But I distinctly remember all those games that when we talk about bad officiating in the NBA, it usually goes back to games like the '02 Western Conference Finals. the last game of that series, Game 7, one of the most poorly officiated games of all time, where the Sacramento Kings got screwed out of a trip to the NBA Finals. And that gets brought up a lot. I think that was the big game in which it came out that the refs were fixing the game. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a situation like this pop up in the next couple of years. Just because, I mean, I think we mentioned on this podcast before situations like referees teeing up players for passing them the ball, but they had the wrong attitude about it or something, or just bad fouls that just don't make sense, stuff like that. And it really makes you wonder, honestly. I'm sorry, my train of thought is all over the place tonight. Anyway, boom, there's a gnome. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Noam, would you like to inform the viewers where you've been the last couple of weeks?
New job. Very trying to get used to a new schedule that seems to be changing every week. I am so tired. I am so tired.
Fair enough. Well, Noam, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you're no longer allowed to skip the podcast because you did last week. We had no comments.
Oh, yeah. That reminds me to advertise that we're going
Once
live.
You left, there was nobody that commented on here, man.
Our comment section, which is usually full of people just going after Noam's throat, was not existent.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Is that really a loss?
Well, I mean,
if anything, it's reassuring if they're not going after my throat when I'm not there.
We enjoy interacting with our fans, and I guess that's the best way to say it. If you're just joining us, Noam, I was struggling to struggling to get my point across about bad officiating in the NBA. I don't know why my brain is scattered for some reason. I was thinking of like a million different things there while trying to get my point across. But my point across is that, I would not be surprised if it comes out down the line that some NBA refs were once again, because it's happened before, fixing games. And like Calvin said, the influx of sports betting has really made it so that we're more aware of bad officiating, So that's kind of what we were discussing.
What's got that specifically on your mind, though? Like, what specifically made you think?
Well, what specifically made us say that? Sorry, that was Milani. She's cussing at me or something. I don't know. But what specifically made us say that is we were actually talking about the controversial no calls last night in the Pistons-Knicks game. At the end of that game there. Not sure if you saw it.
Dude dove into another guy's legs and there was no call.
Yeah, so basically
really?
The Pistons basically, they were big underdogs yesterday. They were winning by 1 point with like 30 seconds left. They had a very great defensive stand where the Knicks got like 3 offensive rebounds. They had 3 great defensive stands. They finally get a rebound. Guy passes it out. He gets fouled as he's passing it. The other guy that he's passing it to tried to go get the ball, and he absolutely just gets trampled over. Still no call. Then the Knicks end up getting possession back. Knicks end up scoring and getting an 1 basket and then win the game.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So basically the refs just, and whether it was fair or not, whether there was controversy or not, undoubtedly the refs decided the end of that game. Like their calls are what influenced the outcome. 100%. Correct. All right. So then we get into wow. Okay. Yeah. And it was like blatant.
Oh yeah. Isaac just watched the clip while we're live. It's just absolutely blatant.
Hey, he decides, you know what? Forget Naismith's rules that he came up with like over 100 years ago. I'm just going to take this guy's knees out.
Okay. Wow. So it's blatantly like it's not. There's no defending it. It's they were robbed basically.
Yeah, and I was bringing up the fact that like this is like NBA refs have been caught fixing games before. You think back to like the 2002 Western Conference Finals, Game 7, completely rigged against the Kings, allowing the Lakers to go to win their three-peat. I was saying I wouldn't be surprised if it's caught again because we've seen some horrible officiating in the NBA this year, just downright atrocious officiating.
That's also like
officiating all around.
That's also like Evan Turner. I don't know if you guys ever seen the Evan Turner clip of him on Gilbert Arenas' podcast, him and Andre Iguodala talking.
I don't think so.
So basically, him and Andre Iguodala were basically saying like, the NBA is rigged. And Andre Iguodala's like, I can't really talk about it though. And then Evan Turner was like, well, shit, I can. I'm out the league at this point. And
Yeah.
he was like, basically, he was like 2012's Eastern Conference Finals. It's the Celtics and the Sixers. Heat are already waiting. Eastern semifinals. Celtics and Sixers. Heat are already waiting for their opponent in the conference finals.
Right.
This is the LeBron Heat. LeBron, Wade, Bosh, all them. Basically, Evan Turner, they went into that game, and Elton Brand had told, it was a game 7 against the Celtics. Evan Turner was real hyped for the game. Elton Brand basically told him, was like, we're going to have to win this game by 15 to win by 1, right? And Evan Turner was like, what do you mean by that? And he was like, bro, this is the Eastern semifinals, and the Heat are waiting for their next opponent right now. He was like, I'm on the team. And he was like, let's be realistic right now. Would you rather see Heat versus Celtics or Heat versus Sixers? He was like, I'm on the team, and I would rather see Heat versus Celtics. We're going to have to win this game by 15 just to win by 1, because not only are we going to be playing the Celtics tonight, but we're going to be playing the refs as well. And, that was when Evan Turner said that he first realized how rigged the game of sports was.
Wow. Shit.
If it really is all rigged, though, I will say the NBA writers are lazy as hell. Like the writers in other sports have got it going on, but the NBA writers, they really gave us Warriors, Cavs 4 years in a row and really said, yeah, and you'll enjoy it.
You say that,
did not.
But you say that, but the NFL script writers, they just used the whole 2020 script all over again. The Super Bowl was literally the same. All the people that won the divisions were literally the same. Like the Texans had 10 wins just like they did in 2020. The Ravens won the division just like they did in 2020. Lamar won MVP just like he did in 2020. Like they literally followed the same script.
They got really lazy, I will admit. They got lazy. I don't know if we should bring up that season though, considering it's done and
the pain is still fresh.
The pain is still fresh. No, what's on your mind? Give us what's on your mind. Don't even have to be sports related.
It is sports related.
Oh no,
just
what
not.
Is it?
I'm going off camera for a second.
I'm just saying what we're all thinking. I can't be the only one who feels this way. Out of all the fictional sports to ever exist,
here we go.
Quidditch is by far the worst one.
Oh my god!
Quidditch is from top to bottom. Quidditch is the dumbest fucking conceptual sport ever thought of.
You went on a rant about this all because I sent you a text.
What sport is this?
Quidditch is garbage.
I've never even heard of that. So yeah, it's definitely the worst sport.
It's the broom sport from Harry Potter. It's all because yesterday I texted him. I was like, Harry Potter was a system Quidditch player, and he went on like a 30-minute rant about how it was a dumb sport. It's a fake sport.
So fucking stupid.
It's a fake sport.
Okay, technically it's a real sport because it has enough fans that people made an actual league for it.
Yeah, I know. I almost tried out for the team at Towson before I realized how dumb it was.
Well, yeah. Well, first of all, dumb sport. Secondly, even then, the real life adaptation of this fictional dumb sport has changed the rules because the original sport that they were adapting, that was fictional, is so fucking stupid. Look, all right, it's dumb enough that I am bothered by the fact that these fictional people in this fictional world act like their fictional sport is real.
I got to go back and watch that Harry Potter because I have no idea what the hell you guys are talking about.
All right, let me break it down.
They play on the brooms, Harry Potter is like a student athlete or some shit.
Let me break it down for you. So, in the fictional world of Harry Potter, Quidditch sport played with on broomsticks with 3 balls, and 7 players on each side. The 3 balls are the quaffle, big red ball, kind of like a soccer ball.
It's like if someone tried to invert a soccer ball and then paint it like a basketball. It looks real stupid.
The quaffle.
Okay.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, if anyone who's not listening does,
that's definitely stupid as shit. I agree with you on that.
If anyone who doesn't know the rules who's listening in, and first of all, you living under a rock, and second of all, the chasers have to get the quaffle through the hoops. Each time they get it through, it's 10 points. Then there's the bludgers, which the beaters knock at the chasers to try and knock them off. But then there's the golden snitch, tiny gold, and if the seeker catches it, it's automatically 150 points, and you win.
And the game ends. The game cannot end unless someone catches the snitch, and it's 150 points. This is the dumbest. You have one person on your team and 6 other people playing another fucking game. It doesn't fucking matter. All right. Let's just say me and Calvin are on a team. We're playing Isaac and his team. Nikon can be on your team, Isaac, because he's in the comments right now. Okay. And let's just say
I don't want him on my
he's
team.
on my team. Let's just say, all right. Let's just say I score. I'm a chaser, whatever. So I'm getting the quaffle through the hoops. I score 5 goals. I'm on fire, right? I pass to 40 gets it. He scores 6 goals. Okay. And then Isaac happens to catch the snitch. We lose by 40 points. Y'all don't even need to. You don't even need to have scored a single goal. If you catch that snitch, we lose by 40 points. Even though, like I was like, it doesn't matter. It's
That's stupid.
You have 6 people playing one. You have 6 people doing one thing, and then the seeker. The seeker's all that matters. It's just bothered me. When Isaac said it, I was thinking of it, and all my hatred for this game came back.
All I'm saying is this. You know, Harry Potter was a system seeker. Okay, he missed multiple cup finals, and his team still had a dynasty in the '90s with that rival Jordans. I don't want to hear it. All right, and he wasn't even playing for most of those. All right.
No, he played for most of them. Didn't he play for them?
I mean, you go back and read the books, and he played 6 games at Hogwarts in his career, and he caught the snitch in 5 of them. He caught the snitch in 5 of the 6 games he played. He's actually
how many did they win? How many did they win?
They won all of them. They won all except the one game he didn't catch the snitch. I'm like,
oh yeah,
this is probably the stupidest thing anyone listening to this podcast has ever heard. But to be completely honest, like Harry Potter was the most insane seeker in the history of Hogwarts. That dude was nearly perfect.
Okay, now I want to break down the 1994 World Cup.
Fictional
World Cup. It's Ireland versus Bulgaria. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Bulgaria apparently has like the second best team, or at least they're like a playoff team because they get to the World Cup. They have to be at least good, you'd think, right?
They were carried by Crumb.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they actually have to have been garbage. In '94, Victor Krum, who's the seeker for Bulgaria, caught the snitch and his team lost by 10. And I think the final score was like 170 to 160.
Yeah.
So in other words, they got bodied. They got annihilated by Ireland. Ireland was just fucking scoring goal after goal. They scored 16 goals. Bulgaria scored a single goal. And then Krum caught the snitch. And the game was a 10-point game.
I'm going to turn into a massive nerd here. I'm going to turn into a massive nerd.
If Bulgaria had any other players whatsoever doing anything whatsoever, they would have won because all you need is a seeker. They got annihilated. It was a fucking landslide. They got killed.
That's a dumbass
game. And only lost by 10. It's so stupid.
Listen. In universe, to be completely
fair,
that entire game was stupid because the entire time that game was going on, the mascots of both teams were having a war on the pitch at the same time. Yeah, I just revealed how much of a nerd I am.
That doesn't matter because the sport itself was stupid.
It is a stupid ass sport when you think about it.
Even like hearing like
See what happened?
The movies, I get mad. When I'm like reading the books, I get mad. When I hear fans talk about it as if it's like a cool thing, I get fucking mad just because it's so fucking stupid. It's the worst fucking sport ever thought of.
Listen, I love that series to death, but the more you look into some of the aspects of the wizarding world, you kind of realize that J.K. Rowling is kind of crazy. And some of the shit
is just Star Wars, but bad.
It kind of is, yeah. Well, I'm glad
Isaac,
we got to pick your brain. What's up?
Before you say what's on your mind, I just want to share one more thought that was on my mind.
Go ahead.
Where did the Cam Newton disrespect come from with all these young kids and camp counselors and all this stuff where Cam Newton is having to get into physical altercations at 7-on-7 events?
I heard about that.
I don't know. I will say that
I don't know the actual story, but I did hear about it.
Oh, some social media kids like jumped Cam Newton at a 7-on-7 event, and he 1v3'd them and won.
Yeah, it's like he's
supposedly like their coaches. Supposedly their coaches jumped in as well, and this, that, and the third. And the coaches like went on a podcast and was basically like pointing the finger at Cam, like, "Oh, it was all Cam's fault. It was Cam this, Cam that." But I can't wait till Cam Newton comes out on his podcast because he'll tell us the real story.
I don't know when the disrespect started, honestly. Listen, I wasn't a huge fan of Cam Newton because he was on the Panthers and beat my team's ass a lot in the mid 2010s. But bro gets a lot of disrespect. I know his fall off was really hard. Injuries took him out really hard, and that sucks because for a time he was probably one of the best mobile quarterbacks like in the game for a time. There was a brief like 3-year period where Cam Newton was him for a brief 3-year period, but injuries just
So
took
it's like
him
4
out.
or 5, honestly. Like he was the best dual threat QB in the league for most of his career.
Absolutely.
It was like, yeah, I would say that about 2 years. Ever since like he hesitated to dive on. Okay, no, yeah, he was the best mobile quarterback in the league.
Who's a
Like,
better dual threat quarterback than him during those
actually,
years?
no, you're right. During that
Am I
time,
missing someone?
no, you're right there. I don't think there was anybody during that
From
time.
his rookie year to like 2016, Cam Newton was the best quarterback probably in football, other than Tom Brady and Peyton Manning.
You know
'Cause
what? That's a good take.
he was like, yeah,
Who
no,
else?
he was like his prime was between Vicks and Lamar Jackson's. I don't think there's anyone better than Cam Newton in
Because
that
like,
era.
if you
So
think
it's-
about it, no, because if you think about it, like, yeah, Manning and Brady were still at the top of their game during that era. All the other a lot of the other quarterbacks from the previous era were starting to decline. Big Ben was starting to fall off just a little bit. Philip Rivers was starting to decline some. Honestly, the only quarterback,
Drew Brees
the
was
only other
really
really good,
fantastic.
yeah,
Drew.
Drew
I
Brees
forgot
was up
about
there
Drew.
too.
That's my fault.
For like 2 years, Russell Wilson was really slinging it.
I don't know because
I don't know better than Cam though.
Russell Wilson kind of peaks later because the first half of his career, Wilson was really good. He was really, really good, but the defense was like the focal point of that Seahawks team. The defense of Marshawn
Yeah,
Lynch. Wilson was still slinging it, but he didn't peak until after. When
yeah, I wouldn't
they
say he
lost.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he was better than Cam Newton, who was basically for a lot of it he was his whole team.
In terms of mobile quarterbacks, honestly, the only other like big name mobile quarterback during that era, I think, this is gonna be crazy, was Colin Kaepernick. And Kaepernick was like a 2-year thing
Yeah,
before he fell off big time.
yeah, he did fall pretty
And
hard.
things happened off the field that
Yeah, he never got another chance.
I will say
pissed
though,
me off.
if my man RG3 never got injured, he would have been the best.
Yeah,
RG3
agreed.
is probably the greatest 1-year wonder in the history of the NFL.
He would have been
Holy
the
crap.
best dual threat quarterback to ever play the game if he never got
That
injured.
2012 season, that 2012
I like
Redskins
the
team
take.
was special.
He was fantastic.
Well, I'll wrap up the what's on your mind thing. You guys are gonna get annoyed at me at this. I have a gripe with Sports Center about something. This is gonna be stupid.
Gosh.
I know. Yeah, you can probably guess what's going on. So if you didn't see, and you probably didn't, because Sports Center decided to only show it like 2 times the entire time on Monday. I watched ESPN at work because it's the only thing that's on that can really stand. So last Sunday, down in good old Atlanta, Georgia, at Atlanta Motor Speedway, NASCAR happens to have one of the greatest races in their series' long and illustrious history. A race so good with a finish that included 3 drivers separated by 0.0003 seconds crossing the line 3 wide in one of the closest finishes ever. It was a race so good that a lot of non-NASCAR fans on the internet I've been like, whoa, I wasn't familiar with your game. Random stock car racing series where cars race in circles. And SportsCenter showed the finish twice all day and kind of just ignored it. And in the meantime, we're talking about Doc Rivers on repeat multiple
Damn, I didn't even know
times.
my camera's off.
And I think this, and I'm not listen. I'm not using this as an excuse to talk about NASCAR. I think what I'm trying to explain is like, what happened to SportsCenter? Have y'all noticed how ESPN and SportsCenter is just they just don't really show highlights anymore?
You know when it was the best, when it had the little up next bar on the side of the thing when we were younger and like get ready for school and stuff, and we saw the like what's next bar on the thing. That was when SportsCenter was the best. Now SportsCenter is terrible. They what they talk about all day? They talk about LeBron. They literally talk about the same things. They talk about LeBron. They talk about Patrick Mahomes. They talk about
They don't
like,
talk about other sports outside of basketball and football and baseball to an extent. You know, they used to have a hockey. I remember ESPN had a hockey show when they got the rights to the NHL last season, and it lasted 2 weeks before they took it off. Actually, you know what? That's actually a good take. They are busy hinging their remaining money on the ESPN betting app. They are because they talked about bets. my point is this. Sports Center, if you watch any old episode of Sports Center, you will see all sorts of sports that you probably never even knew about. You will see highlights from all over the place. Okay, whether it be like motorsports, tennis, extreme sports, X Games, Olympic highlights. You'll see it all, but you don't see that anymore. What I saw, because here's the thing: here's a sport that doesn't get a lot of coverage, that has one of the most insane things you will ever see happen, an insane feat of I'm not gonna say athleticism because I don't wanna piss off Donovan McNabb. Donovan McNabb is somewhere. You ever see that clip of Donovan McNabb going off about, like, I don't know, they asked him like, are NASCAR drivers athletes, and Donovan McNabb got pissed off and was like, "Fuck no, they ain't athletes." That clip is
He was
hilarious.
absolutely right.
He was wrong, but I'm not gonna get
Absolutely
into that.
right.
That's not the point. That's not the point. My
They're
point is
called
this.
professional drivers. Look. They are
We'll get
not
into that
called
later.
athletes. 'Cause
Okay,
they are
I'm
not
not getting into this
athletes.
argument. Shush, shush. My point is this. My point is this.
Has to be a
Would you
real
have
sport.
would you have a sport that would you have a crazy moment in the sports world that only gets 2 clips on ESPN the entire day and barely any mention, and then you realize just and not only that, it's put like it's buried in coverage and them talking about what were they talking about? They were talking about something to do with Doc Rivers, like, over and over again. I saw the same story be talked about 3 separate times for 2 hours on First Take, and was like, "Guys, there's gotta be more that happened. Like, it's not that dead out. Like, come on." My point is this: ESPN SportsCenter, I knew they had fallen off big time. I know they had, because they've always been, because of the way they cover the Cowboys in particular, but I think this past week has really shown me just how badly they've fallen off. When they won't even mention other sporting leagues that exist. So that's my point. Oh, and there's a Milani appearance. She's getting a lot of screen time
Hey.
tonight. All right. Well, that being said, let's move into our main story for the night. Court stormings causing chaos across college. It's a good headline for a newspaper article. If you did not see the headlines over the weekend, Wake Forest upset Duke, and Wake Forest students stormed the court. One of the Duke players was caught up in the court storm and had to be carried off the court. Now it's up in the did he actually like get punched? Reviewing the tape, maybe not, but this is the second time this year that a high profile athlete has been caught in the middle, has collided with students during a court storming and has appeared to have been injured. The first was Caitlin Clark after Ohio State upset Iowa. Caitlin Clark got hit, and while I'll admit after watching that tape she did flop when she fell, because that was the most obvious thing I've ever seen. It's still a pretty scary situation. And I know I just ranted about them, but ESPN, to their credit, they did do a segment on court storming. They were talking about it all day in response to the incident at Duke, with Wake Forest pulling the upset, and how court storming has become more and more common in college sports. It used to be something that only really happened when something insane happened, but now it happens almost after every single game. For example, last night, Mississippi Valley State, the worst team in Division I basketball, got their first win of the season, and they stormed the court. Like, it was like 20 people, but they still stormed the court. They had a whole thing about how when Nebraska pulled a big upset, Nebraska stormed the court, including their athletic director and their football coach, Matt Rule. Matt Rule, there's a Matt Rule sighting,
Whoa.
and you see all of the
former Panthers head coach Matt Rule.
yeah, former Panthers head coach Matt Rule. You see all of this happening, and at first you think, oh, that's got to be fun as hell. I remember when Towson, a couple years ago, Towson won the CAA. They stormed the court when they won the CAA. That was awesome. I was like, I wish I had been there when that happened. But then you start seeing then you take a look actually at the footage, and you start realizing, like, what is happening to the players on the other team. Because then you have the situations like what happened with the Duke player and with Caitlin Clark. There was that situation a couple years ago where an Alabama player punched an LSU fan during a court storming because he got frustrated. There was that field storm when Tennessee upset Alabama where they ripped down the goal posts. There was an incident back in the 90s where some people got trampled. ESPN showed this clip in 2004 in a high school game. One of the most talented high school players you probably never heard of. What was his name? I stripped my name. I think it was Jay Kelly, Arizona State high school player, had just hit like a massive three to win the championship. Got tackled and paralyzed in a court storming. And the big point is like
Yeah.
it's kind of become a problem that it's happening after every single game now that fans are just deciding they're going to run onto the court. So I turn the question over to you guys.
The injuries are piling up. I mean, does something need to be done about it? I can see how it can be fun, but like watching that video back, like of what happened to the Duke player, I can like feel his teammates and coaches' frustration. I could tell they just wanted to like hit someone, like just it's that like almost like that not like mob mentality, but it's like when you see one of your people just get like run over by a whole bunch of people, you can go from just nothing to just instantly violent, just like that, just by like when you see one of your people just being treated like that, you know, like just watching it, I feel it secondhand. I was like, oh my goodness.
Oh! I hit the
Thanks,
wrong button
Nikon.
That was a
Anyway, yeah, that's my take. It's like, if injuries are piling up, yeah, there should probably be some rules against it, or at least like, yeah, limit it to like champions and make this like kind of safety rules clear in regards to that. Like,
there
make
have
them
been.
sign an agreement, no storming the court if you have some kind of
You really
mental
think?
diseases, blah blah blah.
You really think
Nah.
that? Go ahead, Calvin.
So I'm on both sides because like I understand the players and the people who don't want court storming and stuff like that. But I also understand the other side because it's like, let's say in the March Madness tournament, and I'm like, Florida Gulf Coast, and I just upset UCLA or Kentucky or something like that. You goddamn right, I'm storming the court. Like I'm a off-brand D1 small school, and I just upset a Power 5, top 5 school. Yeah, I'm probably, my fans are probably going to storm the court. So I understand both sides, and I understand wanting to take away injuries and stuff like that, but that's been going like that's like taking apart part of the game, honestly, because that's been going on since before we were even born. They were storming fields and storming courts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's like a tradition to the game when something major happens, and if something major happens like an upset or a championship or something like that, then I think you should be able to storm the court or storm a field.
It's interesting
Don't
because
hit people, like
yeah.
don't run into
But
people.
look though. I understand that. Don't hit people, but the last two incidents we've seen, Caitlin Clark and the Duke player. I understand after the Duke player had fell, the guy kicked him or whatever like that, but the first contact that the Duke player made, he initiated that contact, and Caitlin Clark initiated her contact too. They did that. They did that themselves. It wasn't as if somebody was just coming up to them and just pushed them or something of that nature. No, they initiated that contact. The last two instances we've seen, at least.
In terms of
dude, it's like instant road rage. It's you see a bunch of people coming at you and you're just instantly defensive. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
in
Go
terms
ahead,
of
Isaac.
solutions, there have been a couple floated around. There's already a bunch of conferences that will levy huge fines if you storm the court. There was Alabama, University of Alabama today. I just read they put forward a proposal saying that if students storm the court going forward, that should be declared a forfeit. I think the craziest one I saw was Jay Bilas on SportsCenter was like, we should detain all the students. We should just lock down the arenas and detain all the students and say, all right, you're in our custody now. It's like, bro, these are college kids.
That's probably the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, I was like,
that's
another
confidently
that's
really
another
stupid.
thing you got to understand. You really think you're going to stop a bunch of college kids? That's the thing.
That's crazy.
College kids are kind of crazy. Like, you seen that clip
detain
after
them?
How you? Yeah, man. Like,
detain them. Like,
you truly don't understand the power of college kids and what they can do. Like,
or just like detain them. Like, I don't know what the thought process is there to use that word. It's really stupid.
One solution I did see that I liked was give a minute grace period to allow the opposing team to get off the court first before fans want to storm the court. And I'll say this to what Calvin said. It is kind of a tradition the issue that a lot of people are having with it is that it's happening almost all the time now. It used to be something that you would
if you guys
only
hear
really.
Milana screaming in the background, she's just being dramatic today, so she doesn't.
No problem, my man.
I can't, but let's just assume her. If we do hear it, we'll just assume her screams. Our screams in
Hey, that's the
agreement. She's just very
solution.
passionate
Hey,
about it.
hey, that's the solution. Just threaten if they storm the court, the cost of their classes to. Ooh,
Nikon,
that that actually might work.
Nikon, you're no fun, bro. Like you're zero fun.
No. That
Why does
actually might
Nikon
work.
our only fan, bro? Like,
Only
get,
fan. What?
Damn,
get out of
man.
here.
Hey,
Listen.
Noam's a popular man, bro.
Yeah, people are already coming to say hi.
I
telling you, man.
advertised the fact that we're going live. Last
Why'd
week
you-
I didn't because I was too tired to fall asleep.
Fair enough. All right, I want to move on now to this next topic because I know this is one we have more opinions on. The NFL Combine is this weekend. First, look at all the new college stars. I want to ask you guys, who are we looking forward to seeing at the Combine? What are we going to be looking for? And this can also be a way to segue into the off season a little bit.
You want to go first, Noam, or you know, me to go first, or?
No, you go ahead, buddy. I'll just disagree with whatever you say.
I want to see Caleb Williams just because I want him to prove me wrong. You know, I mean, I know the combine doesn't say shit because that's on air. That's not on an NFL field. But Caleb Williams is one guy I'm looking forward to seeing. I would say Jaden Daniels as well.
Oh, definitely. Jaden Daniels has been like Jaden Daniels' highlight package is like absurd.
Yeah,
And then,
he does have a highlight tape.
Marvin Harrison Jr., of course. You know, the combine really is a thing that shows athleticism. So, you know, this will really put his athleticism to the test, and we'll be able to see firsthand how athletic this guy really is.
Do you think if Marvin Harrison Jr. bowls out in the combine, do you think the Bears could potentially take him number 1 overall and keep Justin Fields?
I think that would be. Do I think they could do that? For sure. They're the Bears. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure they're going to get this wrong somehow. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's going to be wrong. Should they do that? Absolutely not. They should not let anything about Marvin Harrison Jr.'s combine affect where he goes, unless he has like just an awful combine and is super slow, but is like somehow completely healthy. Then maybe there's something there. But like even then, like you'd look at the game tape and be like, okay, no, he still has speed. Like, you've seen this stuff. To me, Marvin Harrison Jr.'s combine does very little for me personally. Very, very little.
I just don't want the Bears to trade Justin Fields, man. I feel like I honestly feel like they can work with him. I feel like if they give him some weapons, I think because the second half of last year he was kind of balling out in a couple games.
Yeah, no, for sure. But let's just look at this from the Bears' perspective. Justin Fields was drafted in 2021, 2022. What was it? Was it 2022 or 2021?
2021.
2021. Okay, so next year they have to pay him, correct?
Yes.
Okay. They get a fifth round, or a fifth year option. Doesn't matter. Sooner rather than later, they are going to have to pay him. Has he proven he's the guy? Not in any way.
No.
Yeah, can do some things really well, and he's not good at a lot of other things. Can he work? Yes, maybe he can work. Can he work for the Bears before they have to pay him? I don't know. They don't have weapons for him to really use aside from DJ Moore. They don't have a great offensive structure around him now. To me, there's no benefit to keeping him. They should just draft Caleb Williams, and that way it's just resetting the rookie contract. You see what you have there and everything. To me, Justin Fields has not proven that he's better than Caleb Williams could be. He's still like, you still just don't know what you get out of Justin Fields, and it's not even his fault. But to me, Justin Fields could be an amazing quarterback. He could be a top 5 quarterback in the league, but
right.
You don't have anything to say that he will, especially not for the Bears right now. So it's just, to me, it's like you're on the clock with Justin Fields and everything, and he hasn't shown. Again, no fault of his own, but he hasn't produced. So this drafting Caleb Williams gives you more time to get something in place and see what you have there. Justin Fields hasn't done enough for me to earn the benefit of the doubt for keeping him and saying, yeah, he's my future, and we're going to pass on this other guy. He's our future. We're gonna, like to me, Justin Fields hasn't done enough to earn it, to
Right.
earn the Bears doing it when they have this opportunity. That's my take on it.
Fair enough. That's actually a fair take.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to think.
I didn't realize how bad the Bears were 2 years ago. Holy shit.
Horrible.
Oh my god.
Horrible.
It's weird because I keep thinking what they're gonna do. I just don't want them to ruin another quarterback because
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Don't get
I
me
just
wrong.
said
Like,
that Justin Fields kind of balled out the last half of the year, but also Justin Fields is kind of Chicago has kind of ruined Justin Fields.
I don't know about ruined, but Justin Fields has been super. Flaky is the wrong word. There's been a Jesus, I cannot think. I'm so tired.
No, it's fine. It's
Like a
fine.
high volume of production. A lot of good, a lot of bad. He's
Yeah.
done really well in some situations, and he's done just awful in others. To me, he's shown some things that you like, and another things you'd expect him to be farther along. But here's my thing, and Brett Coleman said this is not my take. Landing spot is everything. So yeah, I don't want the Bears to ruin Caleb Williams, and if he goes to the Bears, he probably will be ruined because the Bears are bad, and I
Yeah.
don't think they can even. I don't think they can put a system around Caleb Williams. Anyways, I think it's going to be the same thing as Justin Fields, and it's really unfortunate. But if I am the Bears, I'm doing that because it's the best thing to do for me as an organization to assume that I can put something around Caleb Williams. Should they for football? Should they for Caleb Williams? No, it's honestly going to be really not. If he, if that's what they do, it's going to suck seeing him go to the Bears, in my opinion. Because I like Caleb Williams a lot. I think he's really good. But landing spot is everything.
Who was that one guy? Who was that quarterback the Bears drafted like in the QB class of '99? Who was that? It was
99?
yeah. It was the
Was it
guy they
Harbaugh?
took.
Was it? No. I'm stupid.
No, the guy they took after McNabb, and it was Couch and McNabb went first and second. The Bears like had third. Who did they pick third? Who was that guy? Wait, I have the internet. Why am I not looking this up? Mine is not. Anyway, no. Who are you interested in looking at the combine?
Hmm.
Well,
So
before you answer,
go ahead.
before you answer, it was Cade McNown.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a name. I was
No.
thinking of
Whoa.
quarterbacks the quarterbacks the Bears have ruined. And it's like Cade
Plenty.
McNown.
All of them, Isaac.
Yeah.
All of them. Michael Penix, I think, after the national championship, his stock, which was sky high, has just plummeted. And I want to see how, if he has an extremely volatile combine, like I want to see if he has an amazing combine, what that does for how the NFL perceives him, and if he, and I'm just curious to see how that's going to go. So I'm going to keep an eye on him personally. He's the first name that comes to me, anyways. But there's a lot of interesting prospects this year for sure.
Oh yeah.
Brock Bowers as well.
Ooh,
that's a good
tight
tight
end pick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my bad that I was
He's
out for a second, but yeah,
phenomenal.
I'm back now.
Yeah, Brock Bowers. I like that.
Is what's his name? Ridiculousness from Alabama. Kool-Aid McKinstry. Is Kool-Aid McKinstry going to be in the combine?
I think he's taking.
He is.
Good. God, I love that name so much. God, I love that name. Kool-Aid McKinstry. That's one of those all-time college football games.
We actually have a white cornerback in the draft this year too.
I saw that. I was like,
we do.
Whoa,
it's crazy. Out of Iowa.
Oh my God.
He looks pretty good, dude. But I don't want to I don't want to say it because it feels weird to say. Like a white cornerback. What? Aren't we past that? But it's like,
he could be
excited.
Pretty good.
He looks pretty good. He looks pretty good. Good zone. He's like, from what I remember of his draft profile, he has pretty good zone skills, and can also play as like that third safety / nickel defender.
Speaking of
Let me
college
see.
football, I really want to put this in here. NCAA football is coming back. Game. My
Yeah,
question is this: if you're getting the game,
I might call up.
which random ass school are you gonna take and turn into a national powerhouse? Because that's what everybody does. Everyone takes some random ass school.
I'm probably taking like Akron.
What was the question?
All right, you know how you can do dynasty mode in NCAA? Which random school that no one's heard of are you taking? Are you gonna take over in NCAA football and turn into like a powerhouse?
How many do they have? How many options?
They
They
have
just have
all of
SEC.
them, all
Every
100 and
college.
like every single Division One school.
Oh man.
Got to pick one.
Damn. 40 gave a really good answer.
I'd probably take like Rice, like Rice.
Ooh.
That's a good
Yeah,
one
those
too.
are both really good answers, man. Those would be so fun. Just oh man, I don't know if I have anything that can top that.
Let's see. Your options are
I'll give you two crazy ones: Jacksonville State and Liberty.
ew. Your options are and
Drexel.
oh my god. Your options to play are
Drexel.
Army, Charlotte, East Carolina, Florida Atlantic, Memphis, Navy, North Texas, Rice, South Florida, Temple, Tulane, Tulsa, UAB, UTSA, Boston College, California, Clemson, Duke, Florida State, Georgia Tech, Louisville, Miami of Florida, NC State, North Carolina, Pittsburgh, SMU, Stanford, Syracuse, Virginia, Virginia Tech, Wake Forest, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Maryland, Michigan, Michigan State, Minnesota, Nebraska, Northwestern, Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, Purdue, Rutgers, UCLA, USC, Washington, Wisconsin,
You think
Arizona,
he'd run
Arizona
out of
State,
air?
BYU, Baylor, Cincinnati, Colorado, Houston, Iowa State, Kansas, Kansas State,
I know
Oklahoma
he's
State,
hurting. Look at his face.
TCU, Texas Tech,
He's struggling, bro.
UCF, Utah, West Virginia, FIU,
Hope he's in the W's.
FIU, Jacksonville State, Kennesaw State, Liberty, Louisiana Tech, Middle Tennessee, New Mexico State. That's what I'm picking, by the way, New Mexico State. Sam Houston, UTEP, Western Kentucky, Akron, Ball State, Bowling Green, Buffalo, Central Michigan, Eastern Michigan, Kent State, Miami of Ohio, go Redhawks, Northern Illinois, Ohio, Toledo, Western Michigan, Air
How
Force.
is he not done?
I don't know, Air Force, Boise State, because there's so many Air Force, Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, Hawaii, Nevada, New Mexico, San Diego State, San Jose State, UNLV, Utah State, Wyoming. The only two Pac-12 schools, Oregon State and Washington State. Alabama, Arkansas, Auburn, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, LSU, Mississippi State, Missouri, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Texas A&M, Vanderbilt, App State, Coastal
Oh
Carolina,
my
Georgia
God.
Southern, Georgia State. That's almost done.
Stop. You're hurting yourself. Stop. You're hurting
Georgia
yourself.
Southern, Georgia State, James Madison, Marshall, Old Dominion, Arkansas State, Louisiana, Monroe, South Alabama, Southern Miss, Texas State, Troy, Notre Dame, UConn, and UMass. Those are all the schools you can play as at NCAA 25.
UTEP.
You're taking UTEP.
Yeah, UTEP is
Take
my
it
answer.
up.
They spoke to me. I was like, that could be a good one.
Dude,
Ball State's an easy answer too.
Dude,
though.
Leave it to the wheel. What if we did the wheel for all of us?
Idea.
We take
should
the wheel.
all do that.
Yeah.
It would take 10 years to knock up all the teams. We just have to be like, no.
No, would you use the wheel? You took off some teams originally that you were like, I don't want to be hands up, and yet stupidly
no
left
elimination
there.
though. Just you pick your winner.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I want to.
If you want to set that up, do it, and we'll do it next. We'll do it next podcast.
Oh my god, man, that's just like, it's just crazy how many teams
Why
you
not?
can play
It'd be
as.
fun.
It's absolutely insane. It's insane. It's gonna
Can
be
I do a Tulsa.
Tulsa. Fair enough. I'm
Are
gonna.
they on there?
Yeah, they're on there. You can do Tulsa.
All right, I'm gonna make Tulsa great again. Y'all see.
Was Tulsa ever great?
No.
No.
I have no idea. I confidently said no, but I have no idea.
I think their big claim to fame with Tulsa is that
Tulsa.
hold on. Yeah, Tulsa football. What's their big claim to fame? I'm trying to see.
Their mascot is named Gus T.
He's a
And
hurricane.
they are the Hurricanes?
The Golden Hurricanes.
The Golden Hurricanes. Yeah. Go Golden Hurricanes, guys.
They have won how many? They have won 35 conference championships. Not bad. Most of them came before 2000. That's not good.
You said
Their
most, not all.
Their last conference title was in 2012.
Good year for cinema. And football.
Their most notable bowl they've ever been in was the 1944 Orange Bowl. And famous notable players they have had. Steve Largent.
Tulsa,
Steve Largent.
Okay, I like Steve Largent, but that's too famous. I'm dropping Tulsa. It's good. It's UTEP. UTEP's my answer.
What is he?
Don't ruin them for me too. Don't look them up. I don't even know anything about them. What's their team name? What is UTEP?
They're the Miners.
Why?
Yeah, I think you'll fit in perfectly here, buddy. I think you'll fit in perfectly here. Oh my. They've won 2 conference titles, one in 1956, the other in 2000. Why are you picking
Texas El Paso?
Why are you picking Hey, El Paso's great though. El Paso is awesome from what I've heard.
No, I'm not sure. I feel like we're gonna let the wheel decide. That's your homework, guys. Like, make a wheel for us, and we'll let the wheel decide for each of us.
I'm gonna spin the wheel, and I'm gonna spin the wheel and end up getting a fucking Alabama. Be like, well, shit.
Oh, I'm eliminating Alabama off my stuff.
Yeah. Hey, before we wrap up today's episode, real quick. Speaking of the wheel, spring training has kicked into full swing. The games have been XFL. Oh yeah, that is also or UFL.
USFL. Damn it.
I don't really. This is weird. I do not give a shit about spring football. It just does not feel right watching them play in the spring.
I only watch because Marcus plays.
That is true. Marcus is.
I like it.
So, what team does he play for again?
Michigan Panthers.
All right. Yeah. Shout
out to them. They play here at DC in May 12th.
I like it because
Damn.
Defenders. That's
Michigan Panthers, DC Defenders, May 12th in DC.
If I didn't have to move out of my apartment that day, I would go.
I'm probably gonna go to that if I can. That sounds like a fun time. It's like a. It's like I'm familiar with a lot of the prospects and everything that like came out in the NFL, and some of them didn't like land for whatever reason, but a lot of them are good players. It's really cool to see them like get this chance in this other league. I
like that. I like that. Don't get me wrong. When I say
AJ McCarron actually asked to be released from the Bengals so he can go play at the XFL.
Oh, they're becoming a rival.
Listen. I don't listen. I only say I don't care for spring football just because it doesn't feel right to me watching them play football in the spring. But I'm not saying I won't support it. Because I won't have a problem.
I'm excited for Ben DiNucci.
Oh my God, Ben DiNucci.
Ben DiNucci.
That's a name.
Or Jake Fromm.
I saw him play college. He when James Madison came to Towson, my junior year of college. I saw Ben DiNucci in person. Got carried by his
Stanley. They got some players. They got some players that I was excited to watch. Cole McDonald, I think, is in the XFL. Yeah, Cole McDonald. And his amazing hair. He's the Trevor Lawrence we all truly needed.
Who else? There was a guy that used to play, Trey Quinn. He used to play for the Redskins.
Oh yeah, Trey Quinn, former Mr. Irrelevant.
Yep.
He was solid. He had a couple of good years.
Which team survived? So it's Birmingham, Houston, Memphis, Michigan, Arlington, DC, San Antonio, and St. Louis.
I think the XFL champion of last year and the USFL champion of last year, they kick off week 1.
Oh, interesting.
I won't be opposed to that. Let me take a look at this season. Yeah, week 1, Birmingham and Arlington.
Yeah, so those are the 2 winners of the championships last year.
I mean, I'll probably get into it. I'll get into it. I know the USFL was going strong for a while, had some good moments.
Yeah, no, it was exciting for a little bit.
And a lot of those guys have been in the NFL before or, have NFL ties. So it's not like these guys are some shit, like just coming out of their backyard.
Yeah. You remember when Trent Richardson was in it? I'm sorry. Was this?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it was Trent Richardson.
Trent Richardson was in the Alliance of American Football, the AAF. Remember the AAF?
Oh, yeah. He was on the Birmingham team, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. The AAF? Okay, so remember it was during the spring of 2019. It ran for like 8 weeks before it got shut down because the same guys who owned the Carolina Panthers fucked it.
Yeah.
What was it? Yeah. It was like the first. I remember when it first showed up because they their whole selling point was that they were bringing the football back to football, and like in the first game, one of the quarterbacks got blown up big time.
He got blown up. And there's like not a flag.
It was Garrett
and
Gilbert.
Was like, oh gosh.
It was Garrett Gilbert. I remember got blown up. There was no flag for the helmet. Blatant helmet to helmet, no flag. Everyone was like, "Oh, it's football eating football." And then 8 weeks later, it was in the toilet because the guys who owned the Panthers bought it and David Tepper
And,
bought it and
Garrett
drove it
Gilbert
into
would
the
go on to
ground.
start an NFL game actually after that.
He did. He did.
For the
What did he?
Cowboys.
What did he? Did he? Wait.
Yep. I know
Yeah,
he was.
Garrett Gilbert did
I
start a
think he
game for
started.
the Cowboys.
He
Did
might not have started, but I know
he?
he played for them. I'm pretty sure. He started.
Let's find out.
Now he had like 2 or 3
Fact check
starts.
me. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. He did.
No, Gilbert started for Washington.
Washington.
Yeah, against the Eagles in 2021. He
did
also
start
started.
draft.
He also started a game for the. He also started a game for the Cowboys against
Yeah.
the
Okay,
Steelers.
I wasn't wrong.
Nah, I remember when he was on the Cowboys. I forgot he was even with us. That's crazy as shit. I forgot, bro. Terry
He's-
McLaurin has had so many quarterbacks. It's insane, bro.
He's
When
yeah,
did Terry McLaurin enter the league?
2018, I
20.
think. I want to say 2018.
I don't know.
Let's find out real
18,
quick.
I
'cause I'm-
think.
Terry
2018 or
McLaurin.
2019.
Terry McLaurin's about
Uh,
to be 30 years old, though, bro. He's 29.
Oh my
Holy
God.
crap!
2019.
2019. Don't tell me that, Forey. Don't tell
He
me
got
that,
drafted
bro.
he got drafted at like 25 years old, bro. 24,
Oh my
25
God.
years old.
Terry McLaurin has had touchdowns thrown to him by Case Keenum, Dwayne Haskins, Colt McCoy, Alex Smith, Kyle Allen, Taylor Heineke, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Garrett Gilbert, Carson Wentz, and Sam Howell. He had 10 quarterbacks.
Whoa!
That's 10
Yes.
Oh
quarterbacks
my
to throw.
God.
That's 10 quarterbacks to throw him a touchdown, but he's also had
Oh no, that's just 10 quarterbacks in general. Like not to throw him a touchdown. My bad.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure most of those guys have thrown him a touchdown. Still though, my God, 10 guys in 5 years. Brutal.
We also had Logan Thomas start for a game. I mean, not start for a game, but he played the second half of the game. So Terry McLaurin had Logan Thomas too.
Oh my
That's
God.
crazy.
Oh my God.
It's
I
been
remember.
an interesting couple of years for Terry McLaurin. How has he only made one Pro Bowl and has 0 All Pros? What the fuck?
And the thing is, he has 1,000 yards in every season except his rookie year, and that was because he got injured for the last 4 games.
And he has
Terry-
919. He would have gotten it.
Y'all ready for a good comp? You
would've
ready for
gotten it.
something? Terry McLaurin is this generation's Santana Moss.
Don't tell me that. I will get so angry.
Am I
Santana
wrong
Moss
though?
So
Actually,
angry.
so crazy. My first ever football game I went to, I'll never
Mm.
forget this shit. Me and my grandma went to that shit. Jacksonville versus the Washington Redskins. We go into overtime. Good old Mark fucking Brunell.
Oh
Oof.
no.
Mark Brunell slings a great missile right to Santana Moss. Santana Moss takes it all the way to the house. He jumps in the crowd right where we're sitting for the after he scores the game winner. It was the greatest first game I ever went to in my life. I'll never
That's so
forget that shit.
fucking
What
cool.
year was it?
Yeah.
Hold on, what year was that? I want to look that game up now. I want to watch that.
36-30. I'll never forget it. Final score.
That was like 2000s probably, right? What is it? Yeah, here it is. 2006 week 4.
Yep, there it is.
Oh, I
Mark
forgot
fucking Brunell, man.
I forgot the Redskins used to wear white at home. Oh. I forgot they wore all white at home.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Ugh, that's like
I don't like teams wearing all white at home. Fun fact.
it's weird but classic, man.
I like teams wearing their color jerseys at home. There's the whole reason they're the home jerseys. So anyway, let's wrap up today's episode. Let's talk baseball. Spring training has started. Both the Cactus and Grapefruit leagues are underway, and the big storylines I think so far are the Yankees randomly backed into another Aaron Judge. His name is Spencer Jones. He's the same height as Aaron Judge, and he hit 2 home runs in his first ever game, and I am so happy. Also, both Juan Soto hit a home run in his Yankees debut. Also, almost, tore both his ACL and his wrist in his first 2 games as a Yankee. I mean, dude, it's preseason. Stop.
I know it's preseason, but Mets are 3-1.
Man, I don't care. It's preseason.
Great
How about them
7-1.
Braves?
Great 7-1 win today against the Marlins.
Yeah, well,
How about them 2021 World Series champion Atlanta Braves? I'm trying to
Well,
just kick off the network.
yeah, if
Wait,
you have
we
to
got
ask,
G-Man Choi? When the fuck did we get G-Man Choi?
if you have to ask, Noam, the Braves currently are 2-3. No, that's the wrong team. But the Braves are 1-3 in the Grapefruit League. They are
It's only preseason.
Yeah.
Just keep talking when the regular season starts. We're gonna show all y'all.
You say that now.
We got Acuna's little brother.
I'll say
Yeah.
that so far the biggest story of preseason is that the Dodgers are doing Dodger things. So if you didn't watch the preseason opener, the Dodgers scored 8 runs on the Padres in the first inning. And then today, Shohei Ohtani made his debut and, of course, hit a home run.
Struck out.
So
He struck out at his first at bat though.
yeah, but he hit a home run later. He made up for
He
it.
did.
You know, so far, yeah, that not a lot of big storylines at first because it's only the first week of spring training. But I will say I did find out this today. So you can invite anyone you want to do spring training. It's how Tim Tebow was always with the Mets during their spring training games. And like how Russell Wilson randomly took a couple at bats for the Yankees. Do you guys know that like a couple years ago the Cubs invited Will Ferrell, the actor, to join their spring training roster, and he actually had an at bat?
Whoa.
Never knew that.
Yeah, struck out, but I didn't know that. I found that out today. Will Ferrell, the Cubs randomly signed Will Ferrell for. They signed him in the middle. No, they signed him, and after his first at bat, traded him in the third inning. Because you can do that in baseball.
That's disgusting. I don't like baseball. I don't like baseball. I mean, I love baseball now. Baseball's great. Isn't it great that you can trade people in the middle of games? We love that, man.
You're not allowed. You're
Woohoo.
technically not allowed to do that. It was a spring training joke, but
Oh, that's fine.
you really wanted it to be true, though, didn't you, Noam?
A little bit, man. Like, yeah, a little bit.
Well, I think
I'm
that's a.
trying to find this fucking Terry McLaurin stuff. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna close us out, but unless
Yeah, you
anyone
should.
has any other takes they want to say about spring training. Okay, in that case, we will wrap today's episode up. Thank you guys as always for watching today's episode, as always, and every other episode for the Beer Batter Sports Podcast. We're a proud affiliate of the Fired Up Sports Network. For now, as long as Noam doesn't get us kicked off, Braves fan.
Go Braves! Woohoo!
Oh boy. You guys go follow all their other podcasts. You can follow us on all of our social media socials at @bbsports_pod. Check out our Twitter bio for merch as always. And we will see you guys next week at the same time. Hang on. Before we go, one last take. A lot of the NBA's logos are boring as fuck now.
Why? We're on our way out. You pause us, letting us out the door to let Nikon speak.
He's got a point. I asked for takes, and the audience gave us a take. He's got a point. Well, you know what? I'll bring this up next episode. We gotta go. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good evening, everybody. We will see you next time.